Jeremy.
What's up?
Have you ever had the perfect alignment of where like your butthole was itching and then you let out a fart and it was such a hard hitting fart that it scratched the itch for you?
Yes. That is, I feel like it's close to nirvana as I will ever get. Because when you
It is like
fart, scratch your butthole. Yes.
one of life's little things, one of the little pleasures.
When it's like a hard, dry fart and it just rubs that itch just the right way.
Yeah. I've always been curious. This is Yazpod, by the way, yet another BS podcast. I'm Dalton. He's Jeremy. I've always been curious, like, why does that happen? Why does that happen? Like, when you fart so hard it hurts. Like, is it just that much force of air coming out of you, or
it has to be?
Like, it just seems weird. There's so many different kinds of farts.
Yeah. Or when you fart or like you have to fart in an inappropriate setting and you don't think you're going to be able to hold it in.
Oh God! So you try to squeak it out, and you get that air bubble that runs between your fat leg cheeks.
Yeah. Dude, I found something out. Female listeners, please comment in Discord or wherever and let me know if this is true. Apparently, sometimes women will be sitting down and will fart, and it'll just go right up in their vagina. Like it'll sneak up through the front, and it'll go up in their vagina.
No.
Apparently so.
Where the fuck did you hear that?
TikTok.
Oh, God.
Some lady said it happened to her in a movie theater. She spent 2 hours trying to get it out with it being discreet, and she couldn't. So, ladies, do you ever fart into your vaginas? And what does that feel like? Because, I mean, I know you've had some ball slappers before, right?
I mean, kind of, but like...
It just comes out the front and kind of tickles your nuts on the way out.
Dude, I know a few girls... I'm close enough to a few girls that like I could technically ask them that question. I'm not going to.
Well, I'll ask them for you. If they're listening to this podcast, they're going to let you know now. Let Dalton know, do you ever fart into your vagina?
I was going to say one of them listens to this podcast. The others, I don't think they even know it exists. But
also, ladies, have you ever been getting like railed doggy style and feel a fart come on? What do you do in that situation? Do you clench? Do you just fucking try to discreetly let it out? Like, what do you... Because I'm the type of guy... I know a lot of guys will be like, oh, bitch, did you just fart on me? If I'm railing some chick and she farts, I'm going to bust out laughing. Like, it's going to ruin the mood because I'm just going to think it's the funniest shit ever.
Literally.
Literally. Like, it's just going to be so fucking funny to me.
I mean, I've heard queefs during sex. I don't know if I've ever actually had a girl rip ass.
I mean, queefs, I feel like if you're not getting queefs, you're not doing something right. You gotta be packing that motherfucker. Getting long strokes.
You know what's funny to me is that, like, and this has been in my experience with almost every girlfriend I've ever had. They're like, no, you can't hear me fart. You'll never hear me fart. But then they fall asleep around you.
Yep.
And you just hear a little every now and then. And it's like, it just makes me giggle. That's just
also,
there's
like,
no big deal about it.
Farts are fucking funny. Like, I will never be offended by a fart, even if it's the most rank smelling thing I've ever smelled in my life.
No, hold on.
I'm gonna be like,
hold on now.
Oh my god, what happened to you? What's wrong with your asshole? But I would be laughing about it because it's fucking hilarious.
I don't want my girlfriend to just like walk up and rip ass on me, nor would I ever walk up and like rip ass on her. But like, if it just like sneaks out and happens, like, it is what it is.
You and I differ greatly in that. Like,
well, yeah, because you're gonna be like, baby fart, and I'll suck it out like a bong hit.
Not that far, but yeah, like girlfriends, ex-wives, that should be sitting on the couch and just lift a leg and go, and I'm like, oh my fucking god, and just start laughing because it's fucking hilarious. Like, I can't fart and not claim it, because if I fart and somebody smells it and they're like, somebody farted, I'll just bust out laughing. That's how you can tell if it's me, because if it's not me, I can be like, no, it wasn't me, and I'm straight faced. But if it was me, as soon as somebody acknowledges it, I just bust out laughing. Because I worked in a factory and it was loud as fuck in there. And so I would just walk up to dudes and fucking let fucking heinous farts rip and just stand there until they realized it. And as soon as they were like, oh my God, I would just fucking, like, I'm talking about like throw head back, like grabbing my stomach. Like, it's the funniest shit in the fucking world to me. like to trap somebody in an office. And it wasn't just me. It was like the majority of the crew. They'd fucking trap people in an office, like lean up against the door and just let a fucking SBD out. Oh, man, it's so funny to fart and have someone acknowledge it. It's funnier when they don't acknowledge it. Like, I used to have an issue. I love Hamburger Helper, but I had an issue eating it where it would just destroy my fucking stomach. Like, as soon as it hit my stomach, like, fucking, like I was pouring hot sauce out of my asshole. Like, bad. But, like, it would give me, like, the worst gas, and I'm talking about rancid fucking farts, right? So I would eat it and then go to work on third shift. And I remember one time my supervisor, I think somebody came up to my station. I had let a fucking juicy one rip. It was horrible smelling. And the person walked up talking to me, and I noticed on their face mid-sentence when it hit them. And it's just like the whole fucking, their whole expression changed, but they didn't want to acknowledge it. And I just sort of fucking stood there and just let them fucking just fucking soak it up. Speaking of, did you know that when you smell something, it's because particles of that something have entered your nose? It's like you smell
every time you smell shit. That's why I hate cleaning the bathrooms.
Yeah, it's like when you smell chocolate chip cookies, that means little bitty bits of chocolate chip cookie have gone up your nose. When you smell shit, it's because little itty bitty bits of shit went up your nose. You smell some rank ass like front butt pussy, a little bit of that pussy cheese that went up your nose.
That's why I always hate when I'm sick and I have to like throw up.
Yeah.
Relatively soon after using the restroom. Yeah. More often than not, I will opt to throw up into my trash can and then pour that into the toilet and then clean my trash can out, as opposed to putting my face near where I just took a dump.
I mean, I've puked in the tub before. Just wash it down with the shower head. Yeah. It's all good. As long as it's not too chunky. Ugh. I hate puke. I fucking hate puke. Ugh.
Anyway, what have you been up to this week?
I don't think I've done anything this week. I don't even fucking remember this week, to be completely honest.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't fucking think I did anything. Like, my life is just a fucking black hole at the moment. I just work, make no money, go home, play video games, work out, go to bed, repeat.
I can relate. I can relate.
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
Well, I guess then I'll just talk about what I've been up to. So I've a few interesting things. One, apparently today at work, I didn't have to work today, I was off. A guy walked into the pharmacy and he had a prescription for 30 gabapentin. And he sat down on the floor right in front of the pharmacy and demanded they give him 400 gabapentin or he wasn't leaving. So they ended up having to call the cops to escort him out.
Why do people think shit like that works?
I don't know.
So, I do have a story. It's not my story, though. So, I'm friends with the local GameStop store lead. So, go in yesterday. And she's like, oh, you just missed, like, one of the worst customers. And I was like, oh, shit, what happened? She's like, so this mom comes in with her kids and has some trades. Everybody in the mother's knows, take your trades to GameStop, you have to show them your ID. That's how it works. It's like pawn law or something like that, something with pawn shops. So she's like, she tells her all the stuff. She's like, all right, you'd be this amount. Now, she's like, I'll need to see your ID. And the lady's like, well, I don't have it on me. I have a picture of it. And she's like, I have to have the actual ID. And the lady's like, oh, it's in my car. So she sent her son, who was way too young to be going across the parking lot by himself, outside to try to find it. And then she went outside, came back like 10 minutes later, and she's like, here. And she's like, so she looks at it and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, this license expired. I have to have a current license to do the trade. She's like, why are you being fucking difficult? She's like, you're just being difficult. She's like, I'm not being difficult. It's company policy. She's like, I can't take your trade unless I have a current license. And the lady's like, goes in her wallet, takes another one out and is like, well, here, use this one. She's like, okay, why didn't you give me that one the first time? And she's like, I just wanted to make things difficult for you. So since you're being so difficult, she's like, I'm following store policy. You're making things difficult to make things difficult. Like, please just do your shit and get the fuck out of my store.
God, I fucking hate people.
Oh, so much, dude.
I'm in the wrong profession.
Yeah.
So, speaking of, I get a message today from someone I work with who I won't name in case anybody ever listens to this that I work with. And she's just like, hey, you didn't hear this from me, but Trisha doesn't like you very much. Who's my store manager. Yeah. And I was like, shocker. Is it because I don't put up with bullshit? Because she probably puts me right there with Nick, who also does not put up with bullshit. But yeah, that explains some things, like why my hours have been getting cut and stuff. And I honestly think that she's sexist. And I'm not just saying that. She is so easy and nice with all of the girls and so hard on us guys, to the point that I'm hurt right now with my knees and my back.
Yeah.
Lane is out with a hurt back, and Nick's got 2 bad knees and a bad back.
Yeah.
And then the new guy, Chris, is already getting worked to the fucking bone, too. And I just don't fucking get it, dude.
Yeah, I had a supervisor like that. She was a black lady, and I swear she was racist and sexist because there was like 4 white dudes on my shift, and she treated the 4 of us like fucking dirt. Like, she didn't treat anybody else the way she treated us. So, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, dude, and it's not fucking fair. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, like, one of the other things is that, and this was just, I thought was interesting in a good way. So, over the past few days, I've had 2 different conversations. One I won't get into because it was more personal business than I'd like to get into on air. But then this other conversation that I had with my brother, I feel more comfortable talking about on air. So I reached out to my brother because I've been having a rough time lately. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Since the gun thing happened that I've talked about on the air,
yeah,
I've been having a rough time. I haven't been able to sleep very good. It's just been rough. So I just reached out to my brother to talk to him, which I don't know if it took him by surprise, but like he's been reaching out to me more often since me and him talked.
Yeah.
And he tells me today, or he asked me if I'm okay with it. He'd like to get my email because his wife works on a podcast called Science Versus. Please, anybody listening, go listen to Science Versus. It's a fantastic podcast, and you will learn a lot from them. She's one of the editors, I believe, audio engineer, if you will.
Yeah.
So my brother got my email, and she got in contact with an audio engineer, I guess, that she used to work with on the show, that she's going to give my email and have him write me and stuff to kind of let me be able to ask him questions about, like, how do you get your foot in the door? What's the best way to go about learning things? Yeah. Is there a trade school that I need to look into? That kind of thing. And my brother's like trying to help me out with that, but he kept saying, like, as long as you're okay with it. And I'm like, yeah, man, like that's perfectly fine with me. So he asked me today if I could call him. He was walking to pick up my niece from daycare. And I think I've mentioned this before. My brother lives in Brooklyn. He works for Google.
Yeah.
Like, he commutes to Manhattan and stuff. Like, I got to eat lunch in Google one day when I was there visiting. Bruh. Let me just go ahead and tell. I've probably told this before, but quick side note, I'm going to tell it again. There's just a big fucking cafeteria.
Oh, yeah.
Right? In Google. And he's like, yeah, man, whatever you want. Just go pick a line. It's all free. Like, if you work here or you're a guest, it's all free. It's paid for by the company. No shit. So I went over to this fucking line where there was a dude that I could visually see making fresh pasta.
Yeah.
And then dropping it and boiling it. And then bringing it over to this other guy who was making fresh pesto and then mixing those together, hitting it with the whatever cheese. I don't know if it was Parmesan or
Romano.
Any of the others, any of those kinds. And so, but he would hit it with the pecorino or any of that, and then hand it to people. And I was like, holy shit, that's super. Yeah, I want that. That's super fresh.
Yeah.
And it was one of the best things I've ever fucking eaten. And I was like, dude, and this is just every day. And Chris goes, yeah, they changed the menus up, but it's all fresh and made by these guys who are like trained chefs. I'm Like, that's fucking cool. And then the view, there's a picture that I have on Facebook that I'll post in no context if I can find it, of me and my brother sitting at the table, and there's like this New York skyline out the window behind us. It's super cool, man.
So but, I remember seeing a TikTok, they were talking about that, like companies like Google that do the free lunches and all the other perks of working there, talking about how it's like, yeah, they give you the free lunch so that you don't leave the campus and you stay to do more work, and like basically taking all these free things and like spinning them into negatives against the company. And somebody responded and was like, you realize every other company treats you like shit and doesn't give you that stuff. Like, if I'm gonna be treated like shit but I'm gonna get, you know, free lunches and all this stuff, fuck, it's fair trade for me.
Dude, they have these chairs at Google, I saw them with my own eyes, that you can sit in, and this fucking little pod thing closes around you.
Yep.
And it's called a nap chair. And you can just sit in it, and you can have it massage you, or you can have it play like ambience or some soft music in there, and you could just lay there and take a fucking nap for like 20 minutes and then set it to wake you up.
Nice.
Are you fucking kidding me? Like, goddamn. I'll take it. But anyways, so I called him today and we were talking, and you ever have a conversation with somebody and the way that they kind of make pauses and stuff, you can kind of tell they're trying to think how to navigate a conversation?
Yeah.
So he was like, I want to try to help you in any way that I can, because I know like what you're going through. Because like he's my fucking brother. I opened up to him about like everything that's been going on recently.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've been there in the different situations, you know, and basically he was just like, I know that we haven't been the closest and kept in touch as much as we probably should. He goes, so I don't want you to think that I'm all of a sudden trying to come into your life and impose myself onto you or anything. But he goes, I do really want to help you. Like, and he goes, and I want us to like maybe sometime when we both have some free time, like video call, and maybe we can spitball some ideas about things that, you know, you could do that could help you get out of Keystone, because I don't think that place is good for you. And, you know,
yeah.
And he's like, and I'll help you in any way that I can. And it was just interesting to me because he seemed so like worried about doing that. Yeah. But like my entire life, I've always wished that me and him were closer. So I was like, yeah, man, like that's fine. Like this doesn't bother me at all. You're welcome to be my big brother.
I mean,
you know, and I don't mean that in a mean way, but like he's got a different mom than me. We didn't grow up together.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, it's I'm trying to think of the right way to say. I guess better late than never. But like, you know, as people get older, they start to realize these things. Like, my brother lives 15 minutes away. We hardly ever see each other. Like, it just kind of is what it is. But
yeah. Well, see, my siblings were spread out now. Like, it was me down here, my brother's in New York, and my sister's in Kansas.
Yeah.
So, and there's a big age gap. Like, Christopher is 10 years older than I am.
Yeah.
You know, so he'll be turning 41 this year. And then my sister is 14 years older than me, because I remember she's 4 years older than Chris. So I think she's turning 45 this year. So, you know. I guess it is better late than never, I suppose. But yeah, it was just interesting. So I'll be interested to see what comes of that.
Yeah.
You know, and like, not that I think that he'll listen to this. Actually, one of the things that we talked about today was that I told him that I think this show would be too vulgar for him, and I don't recommend it to him. But
I recommend it to him. Listen to this shit.
But
get us on some kind of like Google advertisement plan or something.
I don't
get Google to give us money.
Well, that was just about what I was going to say. Is like, I don't want him to like feel like he's going to be like, hey, here's money or anything like that. You know, because I just don't want him to do that. Like,
I don't want his money. I want Google's money. To.
I'm not talking about for the show, motherfucker.
I'm talking about me. I want Google's money. So just get Google to give us money. They have a lot of it.
Hire us as janitors at Google.
Yeah.
Probably make more money than we do here.
Oh, fuck yeah. Dude, I can go work at McDonald's.
In New York.
I could work at McDonald's and make more money than I make now.
Yeah, dude. So it's just been an interesting week, but it's been like a very like the healing process is going well with everything. It was just that gun thing fucked me up, dude, and it's still, like I said, it's still fucking with me when I sleep. But last night it didn't. So like, hopefully
that's good.
I can have some more nights like that. You know.
You and I value life differently because, like I said, I would have just taken my chances and ran his fucking ass over.
Here's the thing. Like, you said that, and then Kayla at work said that. And by the time that he did that, he was no longer in a position where I could have run him over. You know what I mean? Like, he was already, like, I would have had to have backed up and turned a little to run him over.
I mean, I probably would have thought about it. Like, one of us is about to die, motherfucker. Who's it going to be? I'm fine either way.
Yeah, it was I don't know. That was just not what was on my mind at the moment.
Like I said, you have more to look forward to in life. I'm older than you, and my life
not
sucks.
that much older than me.
My life sucks.
Yeah, my life's not that great either right now, dude, but it'll get better. But like, you are not that much older than me.
Yeah. I don't know.
What are you, 34, 35, 36?
I'll be 37 in 10 days, something like that.
So see, it's not bad. And then you're gonna be fucking going over to Europe. Shut the fuck up.
Those are 7 hard fucking years. They've ruined me. They've broken my spirit.
It's only 6 years. But yeah.
That's what Shelby asked me. A friend of mine asked me the other day. She's like, "Are you cold?" I was like, "No." I was like, "I have the rage in my heart to keep me warm."
Jesus. Oh man. So before we get into some wrestling talk, apologies, Jeff. There was a pay-per-view.
There was a pay-per-view, and we didn't get that many questions. So we're talking about wrestling. Don't like it? Ask more questions.
I did put out there that they had an hour to get in any last-minute questions, and it's been almost an hour, and there's been none. So yeah, it's on you, the listeners. What is the male birth control?
So they've been studying this for a while, and supposedly they figured it out in mice. So I guess they're going to start human trials of a male contraceptive pill. So like, you can take a pill every day and you won't get anybody pregnant. And I'm curious your thoughts on that, and would you use that?
So I don't particularly care. Like, people, if they want to use a contraceptive, that's their thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't care. Would I use it? I don't know if I need it. And here's why I say that. I've busted many a nut in many a girl, and I have never once had a pregnancy scare, ever. Which makes me think I had a girlfriend back in the day who was clumsy as fuck and hit me in the nuts all the time. Yeah. Right. Then I got shot relatively point blank range with a burst shot from a paintball gun in the balls. Yeah. So I'm not sure that I'm not sure my boys are swimming properly, you know, to be quite honest with you.
Fucking
so I don't know if I need it.
Fucking pulling to the left and shit.
Yeah, they drown in her pussy and then they swim to her butt.
So, because I asked because a lot of guys are like, it's like toxic masculinity to like be like, I'm not taking a birth control pill. Like, that's fucking women shit. But we're like, I'm sure
you want your girl to. That's fucking stupid.
Yeah. And like the analogy I heard when they were talking about it made a lot of sense. It's like, to make a situation safer, would you put a bulletproof vest on your target, or would you take the bullets out of your gun? You know, like, it makes sense. Personally, I'd get that shit in a fucking heartbeat. Like, my girlfriend and me both be on the pill. Make sure ain't no fucking babies coming out. But like, I don't know if they can figure it out. To me, it makes a hell of a lot more sense. Because like, pretty much every form of birth control for women have some sort of shitty side effects. And
well, not only that, I mean, it's our sperm that gets them pregnant.
Exactly.
You know, so
like, a woman can have one baby a year. A man could have 365 babies a year if you want to.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, 3, maybe more.
Maybe more.
Depending on how many women that he could fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like,
that would be an interesting experiment. That would never happen.
How virile his sperm are. So like he could knock up 500 women in a year. She could have one baby.
Hold on, I'm picturing this now. Could you imagine the scientific study of having a guy fuck 2 women a day?
Yeah.
But you'd have to have 365 times 2, 730 women.
Yeah.
Agree to try to get impregnated by this one fucking guy.
Yeah.
But then you also need a control. Then you need a guy who's not supposedly virulent and have him do it as well.
Well, that's the thing, is you would have to do this for it to be a legitimate scientific study. You couldn't do it with one guy or 2 guys. You'd have to do it with 100 guys. You know, you have to have that.
God almighty. So many babies born from science, but it would be interesting to see the difference. Because, a woman can basically have 1 kid in a year.
Yeah. Essentially.
And like you said, a guy
can get pregnant again, but she's going to make 1 baby in the span of a 12
in
months.
the calendar year.
Yeah. Maybe 2 if she like has a baby in January and another one in October. But still, average of 1.25 babies a year. Get that leap year baby in there. But yeah, like, it makes a lot of sense to me. Like, do women have to deal with so much bullshit? Like, if you're out there as a man and you're like, I'm not taking birth control, suck a dick. Like, honestly. Like, fucking women go through so much shit. Just fucking take one for the team.
I can't argue that.
Like, they put your smelly, musty ass penis in their mouth. Like, take a fucking pill every morning for them.
Okay, I would just like to clarify for our listeners that my penis is neither smelly nor musty.
At the end of the day, your penis is smelly and musty.
Bro, I shower before I get my dick sucked. I'm a fucking...
So you've never had your sweaty dick sucked? Never once in your life?
Not that I know of.
Trust me.
Usually when it's that kind of like situation, there's no oral involved. Usually we just go straight to fucking.
Like I said,
girls don't want their sweaty vagina eaten. I don't want my sweaty dick sucked because nobody want to smell some raw ass.
I'll fucking eat a sweaty vagina in a fucking heartbeat, man. That's just salt on the fucking potato, baby.
Jesus.
Fucking tastes delicious. But no, that whole area fucking gets all fucking ganky and shit throughout the day. So, like, I guarantee you've had a girl go down on you and be like, it smells a little bit like balls down here. So, yeah.
I whatever you say, dog.
And you fucking nutted in a girl's throat. Like, that's fucking gross. Take a pill for her. If you're willing to subject her to a fucking baby blast to the back of the throat, like fucking speed boxing her uvula with your fucking baby butter, fucking take a pill for her. It's not that hard to do. Lift the seat up when you go pee, put it back down, take your birth control. Like, it's not that fucking hard. To me, it's a matter of personal responsibility. I don't want to have babies, so if it's an option for me, I'm gonna fucking do it if I'm gonna be sexually active. Like, she doesn't want a baby, she's gonna take her pill. But how many people out there, how many guys out there have been tricked by a girl who wants a baby, who says, yeah, I've been taking my pill, and she actually hasn't. Dude nuts inside of her, pop, baby comes out that he didn't want. Yeah, how many times does that happen? Thousands? Millions?
I was gonna say probably more often than not.
Yeah. Like, how many condoms have broken and resulted in babies? Like, take a fucking pill. You ain't gotta worry about it. Be fucking shooting blanks.
Shooting blizzanks, son. She's shooting blizzanks into her pussy.
Yeah. Or
yeah,
just find a girl who loves anal and just do anal with her all the time. Ain't
and if it hurts her,
babies coming out of that brown eye.
If it hurts her, lay her on her side.
Yeah.
It tends to work better.
I always find that if she gets on top where she can dictate like the motion,
that works too.
It usually is a little bit easier for her. Like, you don't just fucking education time. You don't just ram a dick up a butt.
No,
guy,
slow,
girl,
slow and
whatever.
steady.
Yeah, you don't just ram that shit in there. You gotta fucking take your time. You gotta make sure it's nice and slippy slidey down there. Like, friction fucking hurts. Like, yeah. So make sure it's slippy slidey, little bit at a time, just the tip. Then, you know, little bit before you know it. Sometimes if you get it in there and it's hurting, you kind of just like, you don't thrust, but you kind of like wiggle your hips a little bit, like side to side, and like sort of gyrate. Sometimes that helps. Just,
So I sent you a link.
just saying.
I sent you a link for the results from Elimination
I don't need a
Chamber,
link
just to
for
change
that.
the subject.
I remember that shit.
Okay, well, I needed a link.
Yeah.
So, do you want to cover it in order?
Sure. So Saturday was WWE Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, which should they still call it? I don't think they call them pay-per-views anymore. They call them
they are premium live events.
Yeah, premium live events, PLEs. But yeah, so
Because you don't technically have to pay for them anymore if you have Peacock.
yeah,
I think you can still order them through like cable and dish networks.
I think you can, which is fucking retarded. Excuse my use of the R word, but that's something else. I don't contribute, or I don't. To me, the R word is no longer a synonym of mentally challenged people. To me, it's a word you use when somebody knows better and still does some stupid shit anyways. Like, that's how I associate that now. But that's neither here nor there. Why would you pay $60 for a pay-per-view when Peacock is like $7 a month?
Yeah, or 10 if you want the, or maybe 15 if you want no ads.
Yeah.
Which is what
But I mean, say even at $10 a month, that's $120 a year. That's 2 pay-per-views, and you get 12 premium live events on Peacock.
Yeah, plus all the other shit that's on there, like all the classic stuff.
What's that thing they're doing now? The Superstars thing they do every Sunday, I think, is on there now.
That, I don't know if that's on there. It might, let me clarify, it might be, but I know that airs live on A&E.
Yeah. I think like previous episodes might be on there. Like you get the Broken Skull podcast,
which is awesome.
Yeah.
Recommend it to anybody.
Any
also the
wrestling
show
fans, yeah.
WWE Evil.
Yeah.
Which is about heels. Dude, it was so, there's a scene in the beginning of Randy Orton's episode where he talks about getting into the zone, and he said, I just got to kind of lean forward, and he leans forward, and when he comes back up, he lets some of the blood rush to his head.
Yeah.
And he just starts breathing really heavy and flexing his muscles and doing that, come on, motherfucker, you want to fuck, and doing like that. And dude, he starts to look like he's going to kill you.
Yeah.
And it's fucking incredible, the facials and stuff that they can pull off that help tell their stories as they're in there.
Oh yeah.
So first match for Elimination Chamber was an Elimination Chamber match, and
it was the women's,
was it the girls?
The women's elimination.
So I came into this one a little late because I had gotten off work. So I'll let you talk about the beginning of it because I kind of came in halfway.
I mean, it was a good match. It was a fairly routine match. Maybe like a 3 to 4 star match, maybe. Like good, but I don't think we need to run down the entire match. Like,
oh no,
like Oscar.
No, just if anything jumped out to you.
No, not really. It was written. It was like the spots were done well. It was sort of laid out really well. Who was it?
I really like Raquel Rodriguez.
Oh, I love Raquel Rodriguez. I really want to see her do really well in the women's. Like, she's an NXT talent, but I feel like she's pretty close to moving up to SmackDown or Raw.
Yeah.
Because she's getting big. She got pretty big spot in the Royal Rumble. She got put in the Elimination Chamber. I think she's going to be moving up soon. And I like it because she's really good. She's really talented. She sort of has like a China vibe to her, where she just towers over the other women. And
yeah.
That's
like, I would love to see her go at it with, like, say a Charlotte or a Rhea Ripley.
I'll say I want
those girls who are also larger.
I want to see her and Rhea Ripley go into a feud together.
Yeah, that would be badass.
Yeah.
She was a standout for me. Also, like, I love Carmella. I don't care what anybody says. Carmella is a great chicken shit heel.
Carmella is hot as fuck too. Like,
yeah, she's married to Corey Graves, one of the commentators.
Yeah, the Miz.
No, not the Miz.
They're the same fucking person.
Corey Graves. No, they're not. Corey Graves is a wrestler. He's a commentator.
Person. They're the same fucking person.
And Carmella is different from Maurice, who is Miz's hot ass wife.
Yeah. But yeah.
But Asuka winning.
Asuka won, which I fucking love Asuka so much.
I am loving the throwback look to her old Kana.
Oh yeah.
Look from Japan. Just badass.
Yeah. I think she's going to get the title. I hope she gets the title at WrestleMania. Because I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't particularly care for Bianca Belair. I think her gimmick is stupid. And admit this though. Because I'm there with you on the hair, but if she ever lost that hair, she's a good wrestler.
She's a good
but her
fucking
gimmick
wrestler.
is dumb. The hair thing is dumb to me. And
I don't think that's all natural. I could be wrong, but I think that's a big ass weave.
I'm pretty sure it's a big ass weave. But yeah,
she's really good in the ring.
Oh yeah, she's talented, but I think to me she's very talented, but I feel like WWE is slighting her talent and turning her into more of a clown. Like, isn't one of her finishers like using her hair like a whip?
I mean, it's not a finisher, but she does use that as a move, yeah.
It's just, that's like rodeo clown shit to me. Like, she could be so much more than that.
I agree, but also sometimes, and I don't like it either. Let me just go ahead and clarify. Yeah. I don't like the hair stuff either. She can get a good fucking crack on that thing like a whip on people. And it's like, God damn, I bet that hurt.
But I will say that, correct me if I'm wrong, up until recently, the women's division has been pretty lackluster. And here lately, the women's division is getting pretty stacked. Like, there's a lot of women in there that are like top tier level wrestlers. So
yeah, because I mean, you know, the Charlottes, the Beckys, the Baileys, they've been on top for a long time. And now it's time to see what this new crop's got.
Yep.
It'd be interesting to see. So up next was Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
I was not thrilled or overwhelmed by this at all. And when I saw the finish, go ahead.
It was a decent match. I like the heavyweights like that. I like dudes that throw their weight around. But yeah, it was like maybe a 3-star match. It was an average match. It was more like what happened after the match that made it a little more thrilling.
CBS Sports gave it a C-.
Yeah. So yeah,
which, by the way, the female match, we got a B-.
Yeah, I can see that. So I'd say the females maybe like 3.5, maybe 4, but I feel like 4 may be a little high for that. But yeah,
4 would be high for that.
I would say Brock and Bobby Lashley was like 2.5 to 3 stars.
Yeah. So that match ended. And the way the match ended, I was like, because going into this match, I'm like, it's very weird to me that they're doing this blow off at Elimination Chamber when WrestleMania is a month away. Yeah. And lo and behold, Brock Lesnar hit Bobby Lashley in the dick, got disqualified.
Yeah. Bobby, what's his move called? The fucking, that lock.
The hurt lock.
The hurt lock, which is, I don't know.
It's a camel clutch. It's not a camel clutch, excuse me. It's a full Nelson lock.
Yeah. But it's just, that's a weird name to me. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the Hurt Lock. He
used to be in a group called The Hurt Business.
But yeah, he gets him in that.
Brock, Shelton Benjamin, MVP, and somebody else.
But he gets Brock in that. Brock can't get out, so he kicks him in the dick. Ref disqualifies him. Brock, same old tired trope. Brock goes bananas and starts destroying people. So I see this culminating in like a no disqualification, like a cage match or a Hell in a Cell or something like that between those two to like settle this once and for all. But I feel like this rivalry, I feel like a lot of fans it's long in the tooth. Like, I feel like it needs to wrap up and move on to something else.
I will say that the way Brock reacted after the match
Yeah.
I loved when he realized that he lost due to disqualification. He grabbed the referee and hit the referee with an F5.
Yeah.
Then, pretty sure he picked up Bobby Lashley, hit him with an F5.
Yeah.
Then the crowd chanted one more time. So he grabbed Lashley and hit him with another F5, then hit the referee with another F5. Then got out, tore the fucking thing off the announce table.
Yeah.
Took Lashley out there, F5'd him through the table. Then threw the referee out and F5'd the referee onto the broken table.
Which apparently was off script. He wasn't supposed to do that with the ref. So he might have to hear some shit from Triple H about that. But, I mean, it got a pop, so it's not like he's going to get in fucking trouble for it.
Oh, bro, it's fucking Brock Lesnar. They're going to be like, we're going to fine you $150,000. He's going to be like, take it out of my check.
Yeah.
I could give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, they probably paid him $1 million for that match.
Yep.
So after that was Edge and Beth Phoenix, his wife, versus Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
It was a good match. I love Edge.
It was a good match.
I love everybody in this match, actually.
Beth is not the greatest at selling offensive moves. Like, she doesn't have the athleticism, I think.
Well, I do want to point out, too, that Beth hasn't been an active wrestler in a long time.
Yeah, that's why, and it shows, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But, you know how much I love Rhea Ripley. I cannot stand how she sells big moves. With the whole, like, wide eyes staring off into space. It's just so fucking corny looking to me. And she did it a lot of times in that match. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Like, it's just so... It looks so shitty.
Well, when they kind of just like the camera's on them close up, but they're not looking at it. They're kind of just...
Well, not even that. Like, when, like, she got what's Beth's move that she uses?
The glam slam?
Yeah. So, like, she does that to her outside the ring at the end of the match, and she just, like, pops up, like, tightens all her facial muscles, like, stares up at the ceiling, and just, like, it looks so fucking stupid. I can't stand it. I wish she would work on that. But, yeah, it was a good match. I want to say I don't know if it's because I understand or have a similar mindset to how WWE books matches, or if they're just super fucking predictable. But I predicted the outcome of every match except the men's elimination chamber. I put it down to 2 people, and one of those 2 people still won. But we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, like, I knew this one, like, Edge and Beth were going to win and get over because they're in Canada. So...
Yeah. And I don't know how it went down, but on Monday Night Raw, I thought on the press scrum later. Oh, well, actually, no. Never mind.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
And it's not the press scrum, excuse me. It's the post-premium live event press conference.
Yeah, post-show press conference.
Press scrum is what, or media scrum is what What's-His-Face does over there at AEW. These guys gave this match a B. Yeah. I thought it was pretty good. Like I said, I love Edge. I love seeing him wrestle. I've always loved Edge, even when he's a bad guy. He's the man. Finn Balor, love him.
It was a dynamic. I'd say like a 3.5 stars. Like,
it got a B.
Yeah. So it's like, I love to see Edge hit a spear. Did he even hit a spear in that match?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think he did. He hit his other 2, like his signature and his finisher. Yeah. It's the execution and the education.
I think it's the educator. The
educator.
The submission.
Yeah.
It's like the backwards sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he did that to Damian Priest, and Beth put Rhea Ripley in one,
Finn Balor?
Finn Balor, yeah.
Yeah. Because Damian Priest was in the next match.
Yeah.
Which the next match was the men's elimination chamber.
Yeah. Which some
Austin Theory.
Some pretty good spots on there.
Yeah, I will say this was for the United States Championship, and this was Austin Theory, who's the champion, defending against Montez Ford, Bronson Reed, Johnny Gargano, Damian Priest, and Seth Rollins. This was the first time I had ever seen Bronson Reed. That dude's a fucking tank.
He's like they could work him into sort of like a big Van Vader kind of role of like just an unstoppable tank of a man. Now, let me ask you this. The start of this match, who did you have winning?
Who did I have winning this match?
Yes.
Seth Rollins.
I had Seth. I was like, either they're going to let Austin keep the belt or Seth's going to. I thought Seth was going to win it because, like I told you before, I think he's U.S. Championship material. I think that's like where he fits into the whole. I don't think he fits into Universal Champion or any of that. I think he fits into like an Intercontinental or U.S. Champion, like locker room or roster or whatever you want to call it.
My boy.
He's a good wrestler. I just don't think
he's one of the best wrestlers in the world right now.
He's just, to me, he's not prime time. He's the opening act. He's not the main show.
Hear me out. I don't necessarily agree or disagree with the way they're using him now, what you're saying. I need you to go on Peacock, and I need you to go back a few years and like watch when he. Don't go back. I mean, do go back and see when he broke up the Shield, when he turned on them. That was badass. But even then, he was not ready. But a few years after that, when he got the championship and he had his run as the heel, he was fucking killing it. And I think that you would appreciate it.
Yeah, but you can't live in the past. You got to live in the now. And the now Seth Rollins is a U.S. champion, not a Universal champion.
Okay. Then, okay, we'll never talk about the Attitude Era again. You're right. Why would we live in the past? WCW, fuck that. We had a whole thing we were going to talk about, but fuck it. Why would we live in the past?
We're not living in the past with WCW because WCW's dead. We're having history lessons.
No, dude. Why visit the past? Why not live in the now? Let's talk about AEW because that product's so fucking good.
Anyways, yeah, I didn't imagine any of the other four men having a shot at this.
I thought maybe there was a chance for Montez Ford because he's got it. I hate to say it because it sounds like shit, but he's a jobber. I don't see him. No, the fuck he's not.
That match, he was a fucking jobber. He was over the top. Like, it was fun to watch, but I don't see him being taken seriously as like title contender.
Bruh. Give it a year or two.
Now,
Live in the future.
Yeah, let him do a little bit more, but like what I've seen of him, I don't see him as like he needs.
Bro, the way he sold that injury angle at the end of the match.
When he fucking
spot on.
When he fucking fell down the stairs, that shit cracked me up. Like everybody watching knew he wasn't actually hurt. Cause like they
I thought he was legitimately hurt until Logan Paul came in.
Yeah.
Because the match came down to three people. It was Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, and Montez Ford.
Which now,
and Montez.
Before we get into that, I want to say Montez, that one spot he did was fucking nuts. Where
he climbed to the top.
He was like, somebody was coming after him. He climbs up the cage, and then he climbs to sort of like almost the ceiling of the cage, and then just freaking belly flops down on the other five dudes in the match.
Not only that, he's hanging from the roof of this thing, and he does that thing where people will pull themselves up and then crouch their knees in.
Yeah.
So like you're hanging upside down with your head pointing down where your hands are holding on by your knees. And he's just looking down at these guys, and then he just let go.
Like he waits for them to get in position where he won't die, and then he just Something else I noticed because I watched an Elimination Chamber match on YouTube not too long ago. Who the fuck was it? I can't even remember which one it was now. But it was back when they had the metal grating on the sides of the ring. I've noticed they have switched to a solid plastic floor now, which I'm sure is much, much kinder to the wrestlers' bodies.
Oh, yeah. The very first Elimination Chamber was made completely of steel.
Yeah. And it was like not solid steel. It was like grated steel. Like when you walk over like industrial, like catwalks and stuff, it's that metal, like it's just flat pieces of metal welded together into a grid. Like falling on that shit with bare skin would hurt like a motherfucker. So when I saw this year, it was like plastic flooring. I was like, oh, good. I like that for the wrestlers. And like, dude, so many people are like talking shit about wrestling when they see like crash pads or something like that. I'm like, dude, y'all realize these are fucking actual people. Like, I'd rather them be safe. Like, I'd rather you use a crash pad if you're going to fall 30 feet. Like 30 feet, a 30-foot drop can kill you. Use a crash pad. I can suspend my disbelief and appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah. It's like, to put it into video game terms for Jeff, in The Witcher 3, the creators of the Witcher series 1, 2, and 3 always thought that the amount of fall damage that people can take in video games is ridiculous. So they went the complete opposite, where like if you're Geralt and you jump off something that's probably more than 6 or 7 feet tall, it's gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
When you hit the ground, you are dead, and it's like
that seems a little aggressive, but
that's what would happen to these guys if they were to take a power bomb off of a ladder and they didn't have, say, a table on the floor with a little padding underneath it or something. Like, and don't get me wrong, dude. Like I said, I've put together rings. I've seen the pads on the side. It's not thick padding.
No, it's gymnastics,
but it's
pads.
Enough.
Yeah,
it's enough to help decrease some of the impact.
Yeah,
you know. But dude, in this match, okay, for one, I want to say, because I've been watching the TNA channel on TV, right?
Yeah,
and when they cut to commercials, they don't go to normal commercials. They'll cut to the best of TNA Impact, and it'll be like the best hardcore scenes or something.
Yeah.
There's this one where they were having some sort of fucking match. It looked like a Hell in a Cell, right?
Oh, yeah.
And these guys are all fighting in the ring, and AJ Styles is on top of this cage with some other dude up there with a table and a ladder on top of this fucking thing. And he hits the guy. AJ puts the dude on the table, climbs up the ladder on top of his fucking cage, and then dives off, puts the dude through the table. And I was like, that could have went catastrophically bad.
Yeah.
Like, they could have caved through the top and came down on everybody wrestling down below them and shit. Like, it would have been bad. But it was such a cool visual.
Oh, yeah.
And then in this match, I thought we were about to see Seth Rollins powerbomb Johnny Gargano off the top of the way the Elimination Chamber works, by the way, is because I just realized that we haven't explained this. It's a big round chamber around the ring.
Yeah.
And there are 4 compartments, and there are 6 men in the match. So 4 guys enter, and they each go into one of the quote unquote chamber type things.
Yeah, little pods.
And they wait. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for, the pod. And they wait for, this. It's basically quote unquote randomly chosen as to who comes out next. Yeah. And 2 guys start in the ring, and then I don't know, however, it's every 2 minutes, every 5 minutes, whatever.
I was going to ask, is it a certain time? Because I swear to God, it's different. Like, I feel like it's story driven. Like, when do
quote unquote kayfabe?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a time, just like Royal Rumble is supposed to be 2 minutes, but sometimes it's 90 seconds, sometimes it's a minute and a half, or I guess 90 seconds is a minute and a half, but like sometimes it's 75 seconds, sometimes it's 2 minutes and 5 seconds, sometimes it's 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. It just depends on what's going on in the ring. Yeah. So, but no, instead of a power bomb off the top, Gargano reverses it and Hurricane Rana's Seth Rollins off the top of this thing, off onto a group of dudes down below. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But then it came down to 3. Montez Ford, Austin Theory, Seth Rollins. Don't remember what happened to make Montez Ford fall through the ropes.
Oh, yeah.
But when he did, Seth Rollins, while he was hanging on the middle rope, like balancing on his hip, or like, his hip area almost, Seth Rollins hit him with a curb stomp, which is one of his finishers, which is, if you've ever watched American History X, it's a variant of that.
Yeah.
And he just, bam, slams the dude's face down.
So does the irony of Seth Rollins doing a curb stomp to a black guy, is that lost on you, or?
No.
That's kind of fucked up, Seth Rollins. Maybe you deserved it.
So he like, boom, hits the curb stomp. And Montez just immediately stiffens up.
Yeah.
And like slides out, and it's just, he gets pinned 1, 2, 3. He's done. And they call in somebody to get him out, because the referee's like, oh shit, he's fucked up. Like, we need to get him out of here.
But
so
did you notice that the referee goes over to check on him, and very clearly on the hard camera, he reaches over and pinches the ref's leg? Did you catch that?
He's letting him know he's okay.
Yeah. Did you catch that though? Because he did that. I mean, he did that directly in front of the hard camera.
Those are things that you're supposed to ignore. That's on the camera, guys. They should not have been on that camera. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
So technically not the camera guys. It should have been the production team in the back. Should have switched cameras. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Kevin Dunn.
Yeah.
Old Bucky.
Damn it, Kevin. You fucked it up. I thought this was real, and now it's all a lie. I'm gonna come kick your ass in the nuts.
Montez Ford did a great job at selling the fact that he was injured.
Oh, he looked like he was fucking dead.
And then Seth and Austin Theory did a great job. Well, Austin Theory's still selling on the ground, and Seth's just sitting in the corner, kind of looking around, like trying to figure out what's going on. He sold that really well.
Yeah.
And then once they started getting him out, he was like, you could see Seth be like, oh shit, yeah, there's a match going on. And then he runs and tries to stomp Austin Theory. And then here was the giveaway when I knew that was a work and not he actually got hurt. Logan Paul comes running. Logan Paul? Yeah, Logan Paul. Comes running in, and he hits Seth Rollins with a buckshot lariat, which is a cool move.
Yeah.
You're basically on the outside of the ropes, and you pull yourself like you're going to jump over the ropes, but you do a front flip, land on your feet, and then clothesline the guy.
Yeah.
And that caused Austin Theory to then hit his finish, and Seth Rollins got pinned.
A-Town down.
A-Town down, and Austin Theory retained.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. So, did not see it going that way.
So I can't remember if we discussed it on air or off air about my idea of getting Logan Paul getting him a good storyline of being like a veteran wrestler, being pissed off that all these influencers are showing up trying to be wrestlers. Apparently that's fucking happened, because now there's this feud with him and Seth Rollins where Seth Rollins is, pissed off that he's there pretending to be a wrestler. So much as I don't like the guy, dude's a fucking decent wrestler. Like, he's very athletic.
I cannot deny that.
He can sell the fuck out of a spot. He can sell the fuck out of these moves and stuff. Like, as much, I will never pull for him, but he's making his way. Whereas his shitty ass brother, I hope Tommy Fury knocks his fucking teeth out, because he's fucking ruining a sport that doesn't really have a lot of credibility left to give up. Like, Jake Paul's just taking the last little bit of credibility boxing has. But yeah, WWE is supposed to be superheroes, good guys versus bad guys and shit. So he fit, and he's putting the work in. You can tell that behind the scenes he is putting the fucking work in.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and like, there's a reason that, like, when I got that pack on 2K22, excuse me.
Yeah.
That had like him and MGK and stuff. I didn't use them at first, but now I'll book him as a heel every now and then.
Didn't you tank MGK's stats and just let everybody beat the living shit out of him?
Yeah, anytime, if he's ever in a match, he's always a jobber.
Yeah. And he's like horrible stats and gets his ass just handed to him all the time.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Him. No, I'll say like he's putting the fucking, unlike, I've heard a lot of shit about Ronda Rousey recently being in WWE, because they're like, she's not putting the fucking work in.
It's not good.
She's not a good wrestler. Like, Logan Paul's a shitty human being, but he is a good wrestler. I will give him that. And I hate giving that man any fucking compliments. At least he's not wearing a fucking Pokemon card around his neck all the fucking time.
I just realized something, bro.
What?
2, 3, 4. Goddamn, there were only 5 matches on this show.
Yeah. Well, they were fucking good. We got to think 2 elimination chambers are pretty long matches.
They're long. They're like an hour each.
And then that Sammy Roman match was long.
Yeah, well, let's get there.
Yeah. Now, men's elimination chamber. I know you have a grade on it. I'm going to say it was a solid, like, I would even give it a 4-star. There was a lot of athleticism in it. There was a lot of good spots in it. There was controversy in it. It progressed at least one storyline. So I'd say probably a 4-star match. Like, somebody did something stupid that could have gotten him killed, and Montez Ford climbing to the roof.
CBSSports.com gave it an A-.
There you go. Yeah, maybe 4 stars.
By the way, have you ever seen the Elimination Chamber that had Rob Van Dam in it?
No.
Or like Triple H and all them were in it?
No.
Bro, you should watch that, because there's a moment where Rob Van Dam's up on top of the pod.
Yeah.
And he hits a 5-star frog splash on Triple H, and he comes down with his knee on Triple H's throat and crushes his trachea. And Triple H finished the fucking match, I'm pretty sure. Like,
dude, Triple H was a fucking tank too, man. He worked through some serious fucking injuries in his career.
Oh, dude, yeah, like the time he tore his quad, finished the match, another like 20 minutes or something like that. And then that match over in Saudi Arabia, where it was him and Shawn Michaels versus Kane and Undertaker, he tore his fucking pec.
Yeah.
Clean off.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn. And then he finished that match too. Like, dude's a hoss.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. He's one of my favorites of all time.
Well, Roman and Sammy was beyond anything of what I expected that match to be. I did not expect to enjoy that match.
Roman Reigns put on a fucking clinic on how to be a bad guy in wrestling.
Yeah. He put on a fucking seminar. Like, he could have sold fucking like tuition tickets for that shit. How to be a fucking heel. Like, they didn't even touch each other for like the first 5 minutes. That crowd was on fire. Bro, loudly chanting, "Fuck you, Roman." Yeah.
Loud and clear, whole crowd. "Fuck you, Roman." Clap, 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 clap. "Fuck you." Apparently, the Raw before that, when they were still in Montreal when they did it, or the SmackDown before or whatever, there was 2 minutes of dead air because the crowd was so loudly chanting "Fuck you, Roman" that they had to censor it.
Nice. That's why they need to do fucking streaming for Raw and SmackDown too. They don't have to censor shit. I hate censorship. Fucking hate it.
But well, it wasn't censored on the pay-per-view. No. It was loud and clear.
It was Ole, Sammy, and "Fuck you, Roman." And then they're singing this song just over and over and over and over.
And I do want to call out too that there was a few times in earlier matches where like Rhea Ripley was like, I heard her say "bitch" and "fuck" like in the same sentence while she was yelling at Beth Phoenix, and I was like, damn, they're getting a little more PG-13 with this.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit of an R. But dude, no, this Sammy versus Roman match, if you watch any match from this show,
watch that match.
Watch this one. The CBS Sports gave it an A.
Look up stills of the Judgment Day Edge and Beth match and look at how fucking nice Rhea Ripley's ass looked in that fucking costume she was wearing. But watch this match. Dude, her ass looked so fucking good. Because she had like
Rhea Ripley is ungodly hot.
Oh yeah. She had those like short, like half butt cheek trunks on. But then for some reason she had those fucking straps under her butt cheeks that were like lifting them up. Jesus Christ, man.
It's because she wears like the leather bondage type stuff.
Yeah.
Because she's mommy.
She's fucking hot. Fuck Dom. I'm gonna punch Dom in the face if I ever see him.
He might kick your ass, bro.
Oh, I don't care. Maybe Rio will come kick my ass. I don't know. I feel like I might could take Dom in a fight if I got like a sucker punch in. Like if I broke his nose or something, I might could take him. Like he's a fucking trained athlete, so squaring up, he'd probably beat the shit out of me. But I think if I could get that fucking sucker punch and break his nose or something, water his eyes up, I might can take him.
Bro, you saying sucker punch just made me think of, there was an old DVD from one of the Lamb of God albums where Randy Blythe was really fucking drunk, and they were talking about this is why he had to quit drinking, and he was on the fucking tour bus. And him and Mark Morton, one of the guitar players, they were just arguing and fighting about something. Yeah. And Randy Blythe, just drunk as fuck's like, "Mark Morton, prepare for the fucking sucker punch." And then Mark Morton beat the shit out of Randy.
Like, what kind of fucking Dragon Ball Z shit is that? You gotta call out your moves before you do them.
Fucking wasted, bro. And then he like tried to hit Mark, and Mark just flipped him over on the ground, punched him in the face like 6 times, walked away. But yeah, this Roman Sammy match, like they had me. I didn't think Sammy was gonna win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they had me.
I didn't.
Where like my suspension of disbelief kicked in, and I was rooting for Sammy to get that victory.
I didn't think they were gonna I'm gonna say I knew they wouldn't let Sammy win. for the simple fact of Sammy's not the wrestler to end the streak, and Elimination Chamber is not the show to end the streak.
Yeah.
But I was expecting more of what happened at the Rumble, where Roman was going to come out, he was just going to beat the ever-loving shit out of Sammy, win the match or get disqualified or whatever, you know, start hitting him with chairs, doing all kinds of crazy shit to him. And that is not at all what fucking happened. Sammy was a fucking monster out there.
Dude, he was feeding off that crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Roman did beat the fuck out of him for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And Roman, like, beating the absolute dog shit out of him, looking over at Sammy's wife and being like, I wanted you to be family. I didn't want this.
Yep.
He did this. And then he took Sammy over to his wife and children and, like, pushed him over and punched him and was like, this is your fault that they have to watch me do this. You know? And he looks at his wife. This is his fault.
Yep.
And it was like, God almighty, dude. And then Sammy got the comeback, started kicking his fucking ass. And then Sammy slid outside, kissed his wife.
Just kisses,
ran
like,
back
fucking
in.
lays one on his wife on national TV.
And then just when you think, like, referee bump. And then I'm like, God damn it. Here come the shenanigans.
Yep.
And referee bump. Here comes Jimmy Uso. Super kick Sami Zayn.
Yep. I thought right there, I was like,
hit him with a splash.
I was like, that's it. You know, he's super kick. I was like, Roman's going to roll over on and pin him. That's going to be the end of the match.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Yeah. He goes to get the thing. No, 1, 2, 2 and 9 quarters.
9 quarters, you mean 2 and 9/10.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Thank you. 2 and 9/10. Just almost there. And Sammy kicked out. And I was like, holy shit. Okay. Yeah. And that's where, like, the inner wrestling fan in me was immediately like, maybe Sammy is going to win this.
It would have been
the other
unexpected.
part of my brain shut off.
It would have been unexpected, and they probably would have burned down Montreal had that happened.
Dude, the sound would have blown the windows out of that place. Yeah. Like, it was already loud as fuck. But that, so they're like going back and forth again, and then a second referee had come down, and then the other referee takes the bump. Yeah. And now the other referee's down. Sammy hits the haluva kick, or hell of a kick, if however you want to say, call it. Pins Roman 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No referee. Yeah. And that might have been when Jimmy came down, is when he almost beat Roman. But anyway, either way, Jey Uso ends up showing up, and he hasn't been on TV. No one's been able to get a hold of him. And he's there, and Roman's looking at him, and he's like yelling at him. He's like, what are you going to do? And he goes to hand a chair to Jey Uso, like, you take care of this, because Paul Heyman had given Roman a chair at that point. And Sammy's groggy, and Jay's just standing there, and he doesn't do it. And Roman takes the chair from him, and then Sammy goes to spear Roman. Roman steps out of the way, and Sammy spears Jey Uso. Yep. And Roman then just fucking cleans Sammy's clock with that chair. Yeah. Pins him. 1, 2, 3. Referee slides back in. Roman retains. Continues to just start beating the fucking dog shit out of Sami Zayn. And then Kevin Owens came out for the save.
Easy 5-star match. Easy.
Fucking could not have been done any better in my opinion.
No. Because like I said, it would have been amazing to see him win it, but that was not the time. Like, if Roman Reigns didn't have this like 900 and something day streak going, and like they built this whole thing up of him being unbeatable, that would have been the perfect move to give Sammy the belt then, and then figure out something between now and WrestleMania, to get it back. But it's not, they couldn't end the streak like that. That wouldn't have been the best way to end that storyline,
No, yeah, I agree. And then just a quick overview of the press conference. Edge said that he was going to accept Austin Theory's open U.S. challenge. I don't know how that went. I'm assuming Austin Theory still has that belt somehow.
It's because they said it was kind of fucked up that they had Sammy lose in Canada, and then 2 nights later had Edge lose in Canada with like, Edge came out with like Canadian pants on, like red with the white maple leaves and stuff on them. Like, they were like, it's a little shitty to let. I thought Edge would have won that match, to be honest. Like,
that's a WWE thing though.
Yeah, true.
is making people lose in their hometowns because, yeah, you can get that feel-good moment.
Yeah.
Or you can really get that crowd reaction for the people on TV when their favorite loses and they really get that heel heat.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it makes sense.
It's not what's good for the one, it's what's good for the many.
It's not what's good for the goose, it's good for the gander.
Well, that's not the right saying, but yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Two birds. Get two birds stoned, bro. It's Rickyism.
Yeah. So, yeah. I would have liked to have seen, we talked about it before the show. I would have liked to seen Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn team up, challenge the Uso brothers for the titles, the tag team titles. The match start and Jey Uso just walk off and go back to the locker room and leave Jimmy to get his ass beat by Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. They take the titles from him and that starts like the disgraceful end of the bloodline. Because everyone knows, if you follow wrestling, everybody knows when
that the bird's the word, birds.
When Cody agreed to leave AEW and come back to WWE, there was a fucking title run in his contract. So I will put
I'm sure.
I will put any amount of money on it right now that Cody Rhodes is going to win that fucking belt at WrestleMania.
But what if he doesn't?
He will.
But what if he doesn't? Let's just put the side that he's going to. If he doesn't,
would you like to place
that place is going to fucking riot. No. I'm talking a hypothetical here. That place would fucking riot. And then it would start putting it to be like, okay, so maybe Roman's going to start trying to break that Bruno Sammartino record of like 8 years as champion, you know.
That would be stale as fuck, though. I think that would be horrible
because
for the
wrestling
product.
back then was not as often. They did town to town. It wasn't on TV.
Yeah.
It was a lot different then. But like, bro, like his reign that he's got right now, no pun intended, is historic.
Yeah.
For this time period of wrestling. And it's like Cody Rhodes, man. I love Cody Rhodes. I think he's the shit. He's the man. I know you don't particularly care for him, right?
Yeah, he's
Is he growing on you at all?
No, he's just, I'm not a fan of him. I see him as like, I can see his talent. I can see the caliber he is. I'm just not particularly a fan of his. Like, I can put him in that, like, title run category.
Would you take him more seriously if he didn't have that neck tattoo?
Possibly. The neck tattoo is fucking dumb.
A lot of people think that neck tattoo is fucking stupid. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think Cody will probably be the one to end that streak, but it'll be interesting if he's not. And then who would it be? Who would it be? You know who I think needs to be champion eventually? Like if Cody wins, who needs to beat him? Or who needs to get the champions a few more times? Fuck John Cena. Fuck Ric Flair. Randy Orton should have that record.
Yeah, I could see that.
Randy Orton's the man. And Randy Orton's been around long ass time. He's never strayed. You know, like it would be cool if Cena broke Flair's record as the 16 time, if he became the 17 time or whatever. I would rather see Randy Orton do it personally.
Yeah. You know who I would like to see brought back into that title category? Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, he's got a thing going on right now with Sheamus.
Yeah.
Like they're like the Bang Bros or whatever. They were going to call them the Banger Brothers, but then they found out about Bang Bros and they were like, oh, we can't call them that.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that shit was funny in commentary because one of them kept saying it and the other one was like, you can't say that on anymore.
Oh, yeah, that was Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Was like, the Banger Brothers, and he's like, well, we're not going to call them that anymore. And he goes, why? And he goes, well, yeah. And then Pat McAfee's like, oh, okay. Yeah, like on a live fucking Royal Rumble.
But yeah, like, I would like to see Drew McIntyre back in it. Like you say, he kind of has his own thing going on now. Who else? I mean, like Brock, but I feel like that's kind of played out. I feel like Brock's title running days are over.
I guarantee you Brock wins that title again at least one
more
time
I'm sure
before he retires.
I'm sure he will, but I don't see him as like a
he's an attraction guy.
I don't see him as a mainstay on the roster for like title defenses and stuff like that. You know, he's a...
Oh, bro, before you got back into it, there was a time when Brock was champion and you wouldn't see him for fucking months.
Yeah.
There just wouldn't be a championship match because Brock was gone.
Yeah.
Because he had
And I think Triple H is smart enough to not allow that to happen.
Yeah.
Who else?
There's not a lot of caliber people at the moment.
Not like Universal Champion level, no.
Yeah, not yet, but we'll see about these new crops that are coming out in NXT.
Yeah.
Because you got, what's his face? He's impressive. Braun Breaker, who is Rick Steiner's son. His real, we've talked about this before. Yeah. They named him Braun Breaker, and his legal name is Rex Steiner.
Which is the perfect wrestling name.
Yeah.
Which, like, didn't he say he wanted to separate himself from his dad and his uncle?
That might be, but, like, bruh, you look and sound just fucking like him.
Yeah. Like, just
like
fucking
no getting around it.
Put the leather jacket and the fucking wrestling thing on your ears and just fucking do it.
Yeah, he looks just like his dad and he sounds just like Scott.
Yeah. Scott's bicep was always fucking weird to me. It always looked really weird. It always looked fucking weird to me.
So anyways.
Do you think anyone like an Austin Theory would ever be able to make like Universal Championship status?
Yeah.
You think so?
With the right time, the right push, the right angle, absolutely.
I think he's too green now, like too young to really.
He's still young, bro.
Yeah, but give him some time.
When Randy Orton first started. Randy Orton was green as fuck when he first started in Evolution and back in those days. But dude, look at him now.
Yeah.
Now that he's a fucking, he's not a boy anymore. He's a fucking man.
Yeah.
And Austin Theory will get there, man. Austin Theory is real good for his age, though.
Yeah, he's good, and he has an amazing physique. I will say, like he's a good looking dude.
Voice does not match the way he looks.
No, that's why I think age will help him.
Help with that. Yeah, because like you look at Austin Theory and you look like he's probably gonna be like, "Hey, my name's Austin. How you doing today?" And like when he talks, he's like, "Yo, all day, baby, all day."
Yeah,
like super deep. It's just funny.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot of like,
there's not
like what's the one? Omos, the giant motherfucker who can't wrestle for shit.
No. I was gonna say no. Don't put the title on him.
No, he can't wrestle.
We don't need another Great Khali situation.
No. Who's the one? The really big black guy, like the fat black guy. He was in the Rumble.
The fat black guy.
I swear there was one. There was a guy in the Rumble.
Dude, I'm drawing a blank. I don't know who you're talking about. I know Otis was in there, and he's a fat white guy, but I can't think of any fat black guys on the main roster.
Maybe I'm thinking of another, an older Rumble that I watched. Maybe it was Otis. I was thinking of. I'm thinking of fucking. The fuck is his name? That dude.
Viscera?
Yeah. I was
Big Daddy V?
A Rumble I watched a while back. I think I am thinking of Otis, but I don't see somebody like Otis getting over like that either. There's just not right there's now. Just not a lot of like what I call heavyweight title caliber. Like Edge could maybe make a run, but I don't think he's got.
Let me tell you this, son. Though with the right push and the way they're pushing him right now is not the right push in my opinion. But Chad Gable.
Oh yeah.
Could be like a Chris Benoit level smaller guy who beats the fuck out of people.
I see him as like, I just see Chad Gable as like great value Kurt Angle. That's just how I see him.
Dude, anybody who's associated with Olympic stuff is going to be great value Kurt Angle compared to Kurt Angle.
But like you say,
can't compare him to Kurt Angle.
He's not getting any kind of push really. He's like,
no, he's in that team with Otis and they're just like, shoosh.
He's like half a step above a jobber.
But he has the potential to be a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's just,
he could drive a fucking milk truck out to the ring. Fucking spray everybody with milk.
So, for Jeff's sake, let's move on for some from some wrestling.
Sorry, Christina. I know how much you love the wrestling talk, but Jeff said enough's enough.
Yeah. What is your song of the week, my good sir?
My song is Unsteady by X Ambassadors.
All right.
It was a song. It's popular. It was on the radio. I'm sure you've heard it.
I don't listen to the radio.
It's like that song. It's like, hold on to me, because I'm a little unsteady. It's a good song. You should check it out. You would like it, I think.
Yeah, I'll give it a listen. My song of the week is Tech 9 Worldwide Choppers. Song just goes fucking hard. You like fast rap? It'll give you fast rap. So that brings us to our community questions, which are very light this week, which is okay because I'm tired.
Yeah.
So this first one comes in from Kana. Your friends are trying to summon your spirit. Oh, I put one in the questions that we need to reference the picture for.
Oh, yeah.
So, but yeah, your friends are trying to summon your spirit. What 3 items would they need to summon you?
Pizza, some kind of video game, and some kind of F1 merchandise or something. That'd be my 3 things, I think. What about you?
Me? Dude, you put down a cheeseburger, a bag of weed, and a guitar.
Yeah.
I'll be there. Or you put down like just a copy of Oblivion, a copy of Skyrim, and like a cute picture of a frog. Yeah. I'll be there as well. There's all kinds of things that you could use to summon me. I love all kinds of things.
Should I say it? I don't like frogs.
That's okay, man.
They're gross.
I mean, everybody has their things slimy. That they don't like.
Like cute like fake frogs are cute, but actual frogs, not a fan. I don't like anything that's like slimy.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Even snakes, even though they're not slimy, they look slimy. And they move without having legs or arms, and that's unnatural. It goes against God.
Oh, this is a good question from Jeff. So you find yourself in the world of Final Fantasy. We'll say Final Fantasy 14. What job class are you going to specialize in?
I don't know what the job classes are. I don't play Final Fantasy.
I will read them to you really quickly.
Is there a blacksmith? Or is this a different kind of job?
There is a crafting class that is a blacksmith, yes.
That would probably be my answer then. So you don't have to read them. I would just be a blacksmith.
No, I'm not going to let you pick a job class. You got to pick an actual, like, he wants to know, what are you going to be, like, fighting-wise? And I think I know what your answer is going to be.
Blacksmith. That's my answer. I'm not fighting. I'm going to just be back at the house making swords and shit.
So your choices are, and blacksmith isn't even on this list, so that's not a choice. You have paladin, warrior, the one that I think you'll choose, dark knight, and gunbreaker. Then you have a white mage, a scholar, an astrologian, and a sage, which are your healers. And then you have your melee DPS. You got monk, dragoon, ninja, samurai, and the other one that I think that you would choose, which is reaper. And then you have your physical range damage, your bard, your mechanist, or your machinist, and dancer, magical range DPS. You got black mage, summoner, red mage, and blue mage. Now you might like blue mage because, like, blue mage, you get attacked by a monster that uses its special attack. You have a chance of learning that move and then being able to use it yourself.
Which class uses a hammer and an anvil to make weapons?
Oh man, I would say probably Dark Knight.
Yeah, then probably Dark Knight.
All right, well there you go.
I want to be Batman.
Let's see.
I would just run around there being like, I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
My choice would be either Gunbreaker or Samurai for myself. I like Gunbreaker just because they use gun blades, and I love gun blades. And then Samurai is my main, and I know it the most, so I would kind of know what I'm doing. All right, what we got next? This one comes in from Jeff as well. Which food from a video game would you love to eat in real life?
So I have
I have an easy answer.
I have one answer that's kind of cheating, but that fucking pizza from the fucking Ninja Turtles, that gooey ass fucking pizza, that shit always looks really good.
Yeah.
So what about you? What's your easy answer?
The teppanyaki from Yakuza 0.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh man, it looked so fucking good, bro. Just, yum. Do you have any others? Or is that just the one?
Let's see.
Because I know that cheeseburger in the beginning of Resident Evil 2 remake looks fire.
What about the fucking the Big Bang Burger challenge burgers? You wouldn't want those?
Yeah. Yeah, bro. From Persona 5, I would absolutely try to eat one of those.
What else? What would I want?
At that point, that is a burger cake.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a monster of a burger. I don't know, because I'm not that adventurous with food, so I don't know what games have sweet shit in them, like cake and ice cream and stuff.
Candy Crush.
Ooh, that fucking cake
Cook serve
That
delicious.
fucking cake that Princess Peach makes for Mario when you finish in Mario 64. I bet that's pretty fucking dope.
I thought you were gonna say the cake from Portal, and I was gonna be like, I'm sorry, but that cake is a lie.
I've never played Portal, so.
Oh, Jeremy, I think you would actually.
Probably not.
You would probably like Portal 2 better because Portal 2 looks way better. I think you might like it. Do you like puzzle games?
Hit or miss.
Depending.
Hit or miss.
You might like Portal 2. I would say it would be worth you trying.
Yeah.
If you ever saw it for cheap or anything on.
I mean, it's on Game Pass.
Oh, bro, yeah. Give it a shot.
Dude, I got so many games to play, and I don't have.
I'm not telling you to play it tomorrow.
I don't have any desire to play those games.
So
tomorrow,
do you want to do
the?
Do you want to do the Clarkson's Farm question first, or do you want to do the toilet question first?
I'll go ahead and do Jeff's question. Yes, if I finished Clarkson's Farm, yes, I did finish it. It was good. I feel like the first season was a little better, but it was still really good. And I say everyone should watch it, regardless of if you're fans of farming or Jeremy Clarkson or whatever, because it really does a good job to educate how hard life is for farmers nowadays, how much of a struggle it is to keep a farm running. Especially, like, it's in the UK, so especially in the UK, but it's not much different anywhere else in the world. And I think it could educate a lot of people to, like, help more, you know? So definitely, and it's funny as shit to watch. Like, it's fucking hilarious. I think everybody should watch it.
Where is it streaming?
Amazon Prime.
Nice.
And everybody in the world has Amazon Prime, so.
All right, well, then the final question comes in from me.
You didn't put a question, though. You just posted the photo.
Yeah, exactly, motherfucker. And here's my question, you piece of shit. Given on this grid, so there's a picture of a toilet and there's a grid from A to J, 1 to 10. Roughly E and F 5 are the center of the toilet.
Yeah.
Where do you aim where you piss?
E5 usually, straight in the hole.
I'm the same way.
Now,
right into the water.
If someone's within earshot that I don't want them to hear peeing, I'm going to go maybe like G7, like off to the side.
See, that's funny. I do the same thing, but I go the opposite. I go more like G3, G4, somewhere around in there.
I got a little bit of
even E2.
I got a little bit of like counterclockwise twist in it, so it's just naturally feels right to go right with it.
Well, yeah, and you fucking pee 5 streams or whatever too, so I don't know if I can hear it.
I mean, that does happen after you fucking come and your dick hole gets stuck together. Maybe it's because you don't have fucking baby gravy. Maybe the baby gravy is the sticky part.
Maybe.
You're just shooting the water out.
I don't know, but my dick ain't clamping it.
Secondly, I'm not pissing in that toilet because that cat has evil in its eyes. You're going to pull your dick out and start pissing, it's going to jump up and claw your fucking nuts.
Yeah, I think Willie was like, I'm going to piss on G10. Fuck that cat's face. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, dude, that leads us to just the housekeeping, house cleaning, whatever you would like to call it. You got anything else you want to cover before we do that?
No.
Yeah, I'm about there with you, man. I'm tired. It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm ready for some more food. Like, I ate a little snack because I was hungry before we recorded. Now I'm like ready for food. So
I'm dieting
for my schedule being fucked up.
I'm ready to go to sleep, so I'm not hungry anymore.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to be up for another few hours. So I'm going to eat some soup, lift my dumbbells, and play some Monster Rancher. But if you would like to send us an email, you can find us over at yetanotherbspod@gmail.com. You want to check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/yetanotherbspodcast. Over on Twitter, we are at YabsPod. He is at Just Call Me Jezza. I am at Super Nerd Dalton. You can check out the website, which is very behind. I do apologize, yabspod.wordpress.com. And if you would like to donate to the show and help support us, that would mean the world to me, especially with work cutting my hours recently. That's been some shit. So Patreon, and I do want to say actually that recently the Patreon money did help me pay a bill, and I really fucking appreciate that. So patreon.com/yabspod.
I really hope that fart got picked up by the microphone.
with an extra special shout out to these people who donate $5 or more a month. Jeff, Kana, Mehgan, Team Retrogue, and Ostara. You can donate $1 a month and get shouted out, I believe, but $5 a month will get you that plus the extra BS, and you get the episodes early from us.
We still owe you an extra BS this month, so we're gonna get that knocked out.
Yeah, we'll hash that out.
We'll get you squared up for extra BS.
Maybe we'll do another Black Mirror retrospective or something.
Maybe
we'll figure it out.
Maybe we'll fart into the microphones. You never know what you're going to get with us.
For Jeremy, I'm Dalton, and as always, guys, take it easy.